Welcome back to the Hoot and Holler podcast.
Yay!
This is the official start of season 2. The reason being, because I feel like it.
Valid.
It's the first time we're recording in 2025.
Oh my god, really?
And we've already done 15 episodes, so I feel like that's a nice little bow to wrap up season 1. And we're going to dive into some really controversial topics in season 2.
Oh.
Are you ready?
Yeah. You know what?
Let's
do it. Yes.
So I have a bum shoulder and I knew there was something wrong with my shoulder, but when I went in, they're like, yeah, you have no muscles supporting your rotator cuff. Like there's just nothing there. And I
think your arm's just going to like fall off.
It was close.
Oh.
Yeah, they said a couple more months, so you would have been a goner.
We would have had to take it out.
He actually did make a joke. He's like, I had to do these tests, so he was like pushing my arm, and he was like, "Does this hurt? Does this hurt? And like everything kind of hurt." And he's like, "Yes, we're gonna have to amputate."
No way! That's crazy.
And I was like, ha ha ha.
That's not very funny.
So they gave me some resistance bands and like some Vicodin and some Ambien.
Oh.
And they sent me off into the wild.
That's like such a classic combination.
Yeah. It's kind of like their signature, like fix it all cocktail.
Yeah.
Give them some resistance bands, some painkillers, and a sleep aid.
You know what? And when you wake up, you'll probably feel great.
I did feel great.
Yeah.
I had no pain. I slept like 12 hours.
Yeah.
My roommate said I was walking around though at night, and I don't remember doing that.
It's just a side effect.
It's just a side effect. Yeah, we're fine.
Listen, if that's the only downside.
Yeah, a little sleepwalking. But I get 12 hours of sleep. Yeah, I'll take it. What am I going to do? Spill all my secrets? Kill someone?
I mean, you're going to be asleep, so they can't blame you.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're
Can't
basically
go to jail for that.
fault free.
Honestly, it's a win-win.
Yeah, for sure.
Let's dive into our main topic.
Okay.
This week, we're talking about gym etiquette.
My gym pet peeves.
Do you want to start us off with, it doesn't have to be your biggest pet peeve, but just start us off with one.
People who film themselves.
Filming in the gym.
What do you think?
I'm of two minds. I think if you do it in an appropriate manner, if you do it like in a private area of the gym where there's not a bunch of people in the background.
Yeah.
And you're not blocking like an entire walkway and you're just trying to analyze your form, then I think it's okay. But if you're the type of person who takes up like an entire block of of machines and you put your camera like 10 feet away and you get annoyed if people walk through the camera, big no.
I wrote on this little pad, unless it's midnight.
Unless it's midnight.
Because
I agree.
I do go to the gym very early. So I'm with a lot of old people who don't film themselves. But there was a time where I had to go around like 2 p.m.
Yeah.
And there's always people filming themselves.
It seems like they were filming content.
Yeah.
Okay, see, don't film content in the gym.
If you're in an apartment, go to your gym at like 1 a.m. If you're
most
on the
apartments
grind,
don't have gyms.
Wait, really? Oh, I guess this one doesn't.
Well,
the one I lived in had a
that's
gym.
Like a luxury amenity.
I guess
sure.
I did live in a luxury apartment.
You lived in a very luxurious apartment.
Yeah, that was a pretty good apartment.
You have like 2 pools and like a barbecue fire pit and 2 gyms and
there's only one gym.
A pizza parlor attached.
There was a pizza parlor. Well, okay, maybe like a 24-hour fitness.
Yeah, go to a 24-hour
or like
fitness.
An anytime fitness.
Or I was gonna say honestly, if you're filming this for content and you're profiting off of it, go to an expensive gym.
Yeah.
Go to like Equinox because people there are probably all making content.
You're with your people.
Don't go to Fitness 19.
Yeah. Gold's Gym at
in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
When people are trying to exercise. It's rude.
It's honestly disgusting.
Actually, I changed my answer.
Oh.
I think it's a no. Never. Because if you are checking your form, do it at home. Record yourself at home.
See, that's what I was going to say. If you're making content and making money, then have a gym at home.
Have a gym at home.
If you want to be on that grind, like
go at 4 a.m.
Yeah.
Go at opening or closing when no one's there.
Yeah.
If you're going to be disrupting people for your content so you can profit. That's the answer.
I think he's onto something with that one.
Okay, so this is going to be number 2 of 4.
Okay.
My pet peeve is if you're going to the gym, I want to see you in a performance fabric.
That I actually wrote that too.
Did you?
I wrote, I hate people who wear jeans.
Yes.
Yeah. I really don't like it.
If you're going to the gym in jeans, or worse, I've seen khakis.
Oh no.
Yeah. I've seen like khakis and a polo.
Are you like coming from work? Maybe.
They have locker rooms.
True.
I don't want to see khakis in the gym. It's disturbing.
I hate it so much.
It's uncomfortable for the wearer, I'm sure. And it's uncomfortable for me, like for my eyes. I don't want to see khakis in the gym.
Khakis?
And then having your like soggy jeans all over the equipment.
Right?
Like that's disgusting.
Like it's not sweat wicking at all.
No.
It's like the complete opposite.
Yeah. I want to see like a sweat wicking, like
sweatpants.
A sweatpant, a short.
Yeah.
Anything but jeans. And then pajama pants are like also kind of on the list.
It's like walking the line.
It's walking the line because I'm like, okay, it's not offensive, but I still am just confused. Like
did you just roll out of bed and like came over here?
Performance fabrics and stuff, like they're stitched together with like more, like there's more strength in the material. Like pajama pants, I feel like you're gonna squat and it's done.
Rip your butt
like, that's meant for sleeping.
Yeah.
So that's my big pet peeve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Seeing someone on the treadmill in jeans.
That's
and, like, flip-flops.
heinous. Okay, how about this? People who use like multiple machines at a time.
Yes.
Okay.
we have the same list.
Okay.
If you are supersetting at like peak gym hours, you are the worst.
Okay. If it's supersets where you're using like maybe 2 sets of dumbbells, sure. Okay.
Sure.
But if you're supersetting on like the leg extension, leg curl, the kickback, and the leg press, I'm going to hurt you.
Get out of here.
Literally, why? And there's someone who goes at my time who does that. And he's going all around the gym. And I'm like, I want you gone.
I would just start using the machine.
I kind of do sometimes.
Because this happens to me all the time when I go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a machine and I'm like, it feels like someone might be using this, but there's no one here, I'll wait for like 30 seconds to a minute.
I do.
And I'm like, okay, if no one's coming after like 30 seconds to a minute, I'm going to start using this machine.
Mm-hmm.
And then someone will walk from like across the gym and be like, I was using that. And I'm like, no, you weren't.
Well, now I'm using it.
Yeah, now I'm using it. Like, I've been here for 5 minutes. You can't come.
You're like,
and
I've
be
already done half of my set. So
it's really frustrating. But usually it's like a very large and scary person. So I'm like, okay, I'll leave now.
I think you just need to be the large and scary person.
Well, that's the goal.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
But we'll get there.
We'll get there.
Yeah.
Even then, when I'm large and scary, I'm not going to be supersetting.
Yeah. I just think it's just so annoying. Like, don't be that person. Unless you're going at 4 a.m.
If you go at 4 a.m., it's the Wild West. Do whatever you want.
Cares?
But when you're there at 6 p.m. right after work,
yeah,
and someone's on every single machine and there's a line for the leg press and you're going back and forth between 3 machines, I am going to kill you.
Yeah.
I think the overall rule is like be normal, be considerate.
Exactly. Like you don't own the gym.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, then own your own gym.
We all pay the same amount.
Mm-hmm.
We all should be able to use the machines.
Facts. So true.
So true, bestie.
Bestie is spin facts.
My number 4 is if you're in a Zumba class or any exercise class, find your window and don't be blocking people behind you.
Oh, see, I didn't think about classes.
This is a huge pet peeve of mine.
Yes.
I will go to Zumba class. I like being in the second row because I don't want to be in the front because I don't know. I like having someone in front of me to copy if I need to.
Exactly.
So I get there early. I'll get there like 5 minutes early. I'm set up in my usual spot. I go to the same spot every single class. And then someone will come after the class has already started.
It's always someone who's late.
Yeah,
so.
They're late to the class and then they come and they stand right in front of me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, thanks. Like, what am I, a piece of meat? What am I, chopped liver?
You're literally a piece of trash.
Yeah, it's like, what? I just don't understand the logic. Like, you could have easily shifted over 8 inches. 8 to 12 inches.
I don't get it.
And given me a little window.
The audacity.
If you're in the like second to like last row, I think it's your responsibility to shift to find your window. Mm-hmm. But like if you're in the front row, just don't block the people behind you. It's not that hard.
Don't like move around all over the place because you're the marker for everyone behind you.
Mm-hmm.
So you have like a responsibility
to stay
in your spot.
Because then it's going to affect everyone.
It's true.
And then it's chaos. Everyone is like shifting. Yeah. It's bad. There's this one guy who started coming to this class that I go to. And I'd never seen him until like a month ago, but now he comes to every Zumba class.
Oh no.
And he comes in late and he stands right in the front and he's like very tall and like broad. And he stands right in front of me every single time. And then I'm like clearly like, I like poke out. I'm like, like trying to kind of make it a big scene to like step. And he just does not, he hasn't gotten the hint yet.
That's so annoying. Everyone
is like shifting around and we're already halfway through the class. It's a nightmare. And he stands like 6 inches from the mirror.
What?
It's crazy.
Ew. Yeah. So he can kiss himself easily because he's so important.
I think if you're doing this, you're a narcissist.
Yeah. And you definitely only care about yourself.
I feel confident saying that because I did take AP psychology. And it's all, you're displaying the classic signs of narcissism.
Yeah.
You only care about yourself. You want to be 6 inches from a mirror. You want to look at yourself, admire yourself. I think there's other things that narcissists do, but those are the main ones.
Those are the main like 2 things. Yeah. You know, that's like the whole myth.
Narcissus.
Yeah.
Because he looked in the mirror or in the reflection.
Yeah. And then he fell in and drowned.
Yeah. So these Zumba goers who are standing 6 inches from the mirror.
Bring them to a pond.
And see what happens.
Do you have a gym crush?
No, not really, actually.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Do you?
It's not like by definition, like it's the person at the front desk.
Oh.
And she always says hi to me and she walks around a lot. And when she does, I'm like, oh my God.
She's coming.
Don't
look.
I have to impress her. Well, because the weekday people are always there on the weekdays. And then the weekends, they're not there, but it like changes. So I'm like, oh my God, I know she's going to be there. And I know she's going to be walking around. And she always like says hi and bye to me, like really enthusiastically.
Okay, I was going to ask like, what is it about her in particular?
Yeah.
And it's because she interacts with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's kind of my bestie.
Actually, now that you're telling this story, I do kind of have one. There is this one girl in my Zumba class who like, I feel like we always make like eye contact in the mirror, but like we've never said anything to each other. And I'm just like, oh my God, she's going to look at me. So I better be on my best. I better nail this move. Yeah.
Interesting.
One day I think I'll say something maybe. If I'm brave.
Wave in the mirror when she looks at you.
That's really upfront. I don't know if I can.
There used to be the treadmill girl, but now she doesn't leave the treadmill. So I don't care about her anymore.
Yeah, it's sad when they get stuck in like their thing.
I know.
And you're like, hey, you used to be so well-rounded and now you're just
on
the treadmill.
You're a treadmill girl. But she does read a book while like speed walking on the treadmill.
I love that.
And I'm like, don't you get sick? I mean, I've never talked to her, but
people who bring like books or like old school media.
It's so true.
I love that.
It's iconic.
These days, like I'm always plugged into a podcast or something, or I'm just like staring at the digital screen.
Yeah.
And I'm like, like I'm exercising. This should be like screen free time. So I think it's nice. I appreciate that they're trying to enlighten themselves
with a good book
while getting their steps in.
There is another thing. How do you feel about people who bring coffee? Speaking of like old school.
Oh.
People who bring coffee to the gym.
I haven't seen that. Actually, personally, or I've never noticed it.
I feel like it's a little strange.
It's a little bit strange. It's like a Starbucks, like an iced coffee from Starbucks or
like
something.
A hot coffee from Coffee Bean.
I feel like it's weird, but I don't necessarily have a problem with it. As long as they're like putting it in a place where it's not going to get like knocked over and spilled all over you.
I just feel like it wouldn't be as refreshing as drinking like a Celsius. Because like a Celsius is cold.
Yeah.
And it's fruity.
Yeah, and it has little bubbles in it.
Yeah, and then a coffee, I feel like it's very heavy.
It's just going to bog them down.
I don't know.
Also,
I was just wondering.
I feel like when you drink coffee, like, don't you have to poop?
I was going to say that. Doesn't it make your tummy hurt?
So,
and you're on the treadmill, like, drinking a coffee? That sounds crazy.
I don't like the sound of that. I feel like my stomach would just curdle and, like, I'd be vomiting. Especially if there's milk in it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Creamer?
Yeah.
Because then it's an absolute no. You're dairy before
before going on the
before
treadmill.
exercise. Yeah, sounds like a great recipe for success.
I probably have seen it more often, but I noticed it the other day.
I have a problem with just people who are like dirty in general, because I'll always see people doing their like weird, I don't use pre-workout or whatever that stuff is.
Yeah.
But I'll see people like scooping their like neon like orange powder into their water bottle, but then they leave the powder like all over the floor or all over the water fountain. And it's just like,
that's disgusting.
Come on, like do this before, I guess. Or
why are you bringing a whole tub of
They bring the
pre-workout?
whole tub and then they scoop it into their bottle.
That's weird.
If you're going to do that though, just clean up after yourself. Don't leave your powder all over the place, because then that's going to stain my stuff. And
I respect it more if they do it by the water fountain versus like sitting at a machine, because then at least you can like splash the water.
We can't end the gym segment without mentioning an iconic piece of Amy history.
Oh my God.
So you used to work at the gym.
Yes.
In your school.
At my college. Yeah.
So you were like fully a front desk employee, or what was your title?
I was a facility assistant.
Okay. Facility assistant.
I was at the front desk. So I'd welcome people in. I'd answer the phone calls. I would clean like the equipment and replace wipes and stuff like that. And when we used to have a snack counter, I would like sell snacks too.
So you were a receptionist, a saleswoman, and the cleaning staff all in one.
Basically. Well, there was like an actual cleaning staff, but we just like, it was mostly like the mirrors, because people would like kiss themselves in the mirror and get like lip marks all over it.
Oh, wow.
So we'd have to wipe that.
That was a common occurrence.
No, but people would touch it and like, it was
smudge it and stuff.
Weird. Yeah. Yeah, let's talk about this.
The most iconic part is that you were Employee of the Month.
Yes.
And the timing just so happened to be, what was it, February 2020?
It was February. and then we went home for spring break and we never came back.
You never came back.
For like a full almost 2 years, I think.
Because of the coronavirus.
I was Employee of the Month for
2 years.
For 2 years.
It's like that SpongeBob meme where like it's just his picture. Yeah. So like if you go from February 2020 to like January 2022, you are the Employee of the Month.
I walked in because I was like, yeah, I'll work at the gym again. It wasn't that bad. And like I looked at the wall and I was still there.
Was it just your picture, or did you have like a bio?
It was just my picture.
Okay.
I have a lot of gym stories. I think one of my favorites was when I was working the snack counter, and then for no reason, the like security door came down. And it wasn't a grate. It was full on like a metal sheet. So I could not see out.
There was no exit, right?
There was, but it was very like convoluted. So how we would get in was just like the front is that there's a little opening, and then I couldn't get out because it was blocked. And then
by a giant metal sheet.
Yeah. And then there was a side door that went into the kitchen for food for the stadium. And no one was in there, and it was like pitch black. And I actually had someone was filling up a basketball with air, and I had their phone because as it was coming down, they had to like step back and they left their phone on the corner, so on the counter, and I had to like bring their phone, so I had to go through this dark like maze of kitchen. It felt like Five Nights at Freddy's, and I had to walk, and I exited like outside of the gym, so then I had to walk like through the front. Yeah, it was weird. I was in there for like 20 minutes and no one really knew what to do. So I was like I have a lot of selfies of me with like the little badminton thing on my head and like holding a basketball.
It's time for everyone's favorite part of the episode, the Hoot and Holler.
Yay!
The Hoot and Holler is a time-old tradition where we share a hoot, which is something that we love and want to recommend to other people. And then we share a holler, which is something that we hate and we want to spread its negative images through all of society.
Oh my God. That was intense.
Okay, thanks.
To spread this negative energy.
But we're gonna start with the hoot.
My hoot for this week is the Japanese band Atarashii Gakko.
Okay.
They're a girl band, and this is relating to the gym. They have a lot of really upbeat songs, and they really get me through a workout.
Are they like a band or are they like J-pop?
It's like J-pop.
Okay, so it's a girl group.
Yeah, they're all singers.
That's fun.
Yeah, and they have a lot of funny music videos.
Do they have like an aesthetic?
They all wear like schoolgirl outfits.
Oh, okay.
So it's like that, but they're also, their music videos are them like as giant monsters like destroying a city.
Oh, that's cool.
But they're like dressed as schoolgirls, so it's pretty silly.
And it really energizes you in the gym.
It does. That's what I was saying. Omakase.
Oh,
that's
it's
their
from
song.
that.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever like look up the lyrics?
Yeah, sometimes.
And what are the songs about? What are they singing about?
Okay, actually, they have one song that's completely in English. And I was looking at the lyrics and I was like, oh, they don't say a single Japanese word.
I always wondered with like J-pop or K-pop, like, do they know what they're saying when they do the English parts?
That's
like,
okay.
Do they have any clue?
We went to Japan and I was thinking about this. On the subway lines, they have like the J line. But J isn't a letter in Japanese.
Oh my God, you're so right. I didn't even think about that.
So like, what?
What does that mean to them?
Yeah. Isn't that weird?
That is weird.
And it's not like it had a different name. Like, it was the
J line. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they also, I feel like we saw people wearing like shirts that had like English text on it that didn't make any sense.
Yeah, there was those shirts. They were selling them.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have pictures. I don't remember what any of them said.
It would be like a picture of a Shiba Inu and then it would say like taco or something on it. And you're like,
it's kind of iconic.
You're like, I don't know if this means what you think it means.
I mean, their songs like make sense.
Okay.
But are they like bilingual? Or, I mean, there's just also a lot of English in Japan.
That's true.
Like
there's a lot
on
of English.
like restaurant signs.
It was like a 50-50, like
yeah.
when we were there, would the person be able to communicate with us in English or not? Or would we have to break out Google Translate? So that's a pretty good ratio.
Just like a
bilingual pop groups from Japan. Mm-hmm. It's the hoot of the week.
Yes. We love it.
We love it.
Yeah.
My hoot this week is cutting off bad drivers in traffic.
Yes. Okay.
I think this is one of the most satisfying things in the world.
It feels so good.
It feels so good. If someone is like swerving or being annoying or driving way too slow.
Yes.
I love just like slamming on the gas so that it like does that rev sound and I zip in front of them and I cut them off. I try to get it like as close as I can where I'm like,
wow,
I'm like so close to hitting them, but like I don't. It just feels so good. Like I want them to know how bad they are. And I feel like that's the best way to show it.
Do you ever hit them with the windshield fluid?
No.
You should try it.
When you're driving in front of them?
Yeah, because if you're close enough and you hit the windshield fluid and spray your windshield, some of it goes over your car and hits them.
Ooh, I'll try that.
So if you really hate them, try that. I also really like waving my back windshield wiper. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad.
So like signal like...
Yeah.
Screw
like
you.
sometimes I say it as like a thank you. I'll like wave it, or sometimes I'll do it as like aggressive.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't have a back windshield wiper, so
oh my god, that's right.
I've never used that technique.
Oh,
but
yeah.
I like the idea. I've never seen that in use. Like I've never seen anyone else do that.
If someone I know is driving behind me, I'll like wave at them. Yeah, in like parking garages usually.
And then the other thing I do is I'll box people in.
I love doing that.
So if someone's like speeding and zipping around and like weaving between lanes and I'm annoyed by it, I'll like stay and I'll drive exactly the same speed as like the person in front of them and I'll just block them off from getting around. And that's like the sweetest revenge to me.
You should definitely try the windshield thing.
Okay.
The fluid one.
Someone was doing this the other day and I'm like, am I just old fashioned or is this wrong? But like if it's a 2-lane road, right? Like 1 lane in each road.
Yeah.
And you want to turn into a business on the opposite side of the road. In my day, what I would do is I would circle the block and come back around on the right side of the road. But this person just turned on their signal
in the middle of
in the middle of the one lane.
Yeah, no.
And stopped there and made everyone wait for them to have an opening to turn into the business.
No, you go around and make a U-turn.
Do a loop around the block.
Yeah.
And come back on the right side of the road. Don't inconvenience everyone else.
Especially in like LA when people are going somewhere. If you're in Kentucky, sure.
And it's like a double yellow line in the road, which
you're not even supposed to cross that.
Yeah.
Hello.
I'm glad that's not just me because I got really annoyed by that.
Okay, this is my holler. Is when you order something, especially off of Amazon, and it has like a predicted shipping date and then it doesn't get there.
Yeah.
And like I know a lot of stuff goes on, but also Amazon, you're like the biggest corporation in the world. Get your shit together.
What really gets me about this is that when it's Amazon making the delivery, there's no obligation for them to do anything for you.
Yeah.
So I would expect either like a discount or a refund or like a little gift card. Like what if that was something that needed to be delivered for a specific occasion? Maybe you were having a party and you needed that item on a specific date. And if it arrived late, it's useless. But then when it's you, the customer, and you're a day late to make your return.
So true.
Suddenly, oh, sorry, the dates are firm.
Yeah.
You can't return. You're a day late.
It's like, well,
what?
But like I didn't need it because it came late.
Yeah.
So
I think this is a two-way street. Like if I can't make my return, you shouldn't be able to take my money if you're late.
I was going to say, I don't like when they have like 2-week window, but I guess that's better than like having a single day and then it not being there. Because
Amazon gives you a 2-week delivery window?
No, if I'm ordering from like somewhere else.
Sometimes if you order from a different website, it can be like a nice surprise when they give you that 2-week window. I know you order a lot of like plushes and stuff, or from like the Pokemon website. And so then you're kind of like, okay, this isn't an essential item and it's like a little gift for me.
Yeah.
So like the fact that it could come any day is a little bit of a treat. You're
and
like,
then sometimes if it's like early.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, this is great.
And it's so fun. And then you get it and it's like Christmas morning and you don't know what to expect. But when it's Amazon and you're ordering, they're supposedly guaranteed 2-day delivery.
Yeah.
And they give you a specific date. Sometimes they even give you a window of time. I've
had
that
it's
once
so
where
true.
they're like, it'll be 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. It'll come. And then it's not there.
And it's like, I need like protein powder. You're like, oh shoot.
Guess
I
I'm
need
gonna
this
starve
like
today.
tomorrow. What am I supposed to do? Eat like an egg? Do you know how expensive that is now?
$10. I went to Ralph's and it was $10.
That's actually ridiculous. Okay, I went to Trader Joe's and they had no eggs at all.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Well, okay, I asked them because I went to Trader Joe's and they're like, "Oh, did you find everything?" And I was like, "Everything except eggs." And they explained the bird flu and they said, "Yeah, we actually are not allowed to raise our prices."
Oh.
So we keep all our prices the same, even if there's shortages. So they said their eggs are still like $3 or whatever.
Oh, and everyone's...
So every other grocery store is price gouging the heck out of these eggs, but Trader Joe's, they're still going to be $3. So they said you can come, people will line up.
I actually, on the news, I saw chicken rentals.
Yeah, that's a big thing now.
It said it was about 8 eggs a week, but you have to take care of a chicken. Like, it's not your chicken either.
No, you're just renting it.
You're renting it.
But how much is it?
I don't know. I didn't look into that.
Because if you can just get, like, if the rental is like $20 a month and you can just get your eggs every day.
Like, yeah.
Not a bad deal. My holler this week is doctors who withhold information.
Oh, wait, so true. Okay.
Yeah. I already have a lot of trust issues with doctors. And I think a lot of times, like, I don't believe them.
Yeah.
I just don't believe what they say. But I've been going to eye doctors since I was like 16. I've been wearing glasses. And I recently went to a new eye doctor because my insurance changed and my old place didn't accept it anymore. So I go to the doctor and he's like, "Oh, your astigmatism got worse." And I was like, "Oh no." And he goes, "Yeah, do you rub your eyes?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Well, that's why you have an astigmatism and why it's getting worse." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you demonstrate how you rub your eyes?" And I like, demonstrated. And he's like, "Yeah, you're rubbing directly on the center of your eye. And when I was checking your eyes, it's misshapen in a way that like is dented on the front of your eye. And it's from frequent eye rubbing." And like, he's totally right. Like, I rub my eyes a lot. And I'm like, how come I've been going to eye doctors for 16 years with an astigmatism and no one has ever told me
Yeah, what?
Rubbing my eyes would cause my vision to get worse.
Because that does make a lot of sense.
So this whole time I could have had perfect vision.
But if they don't tell you and you keep rubbing your eyes and making your eyesight
Then
worse,
I'll have to keep going
they sell
back.
my glasses. Yeah.
And I'll have to keep paying money and buying glasses and paying for the stupid eye machine to scan me and spray the little poof thing in my eye.
Yeah.
I hate that thing.
I actually need to get an eye exam. Like, my eyes are fine, but
I want doctors to be straightforward, because this is what makes me think doctors are scams and that the whole thing is just a way to profit off of their patients.
That's what it feels like.
Because it's like, if you were actually trying to prevent, further deterioration damage or whatever, like, you should be giving your patients information straight up.
Yeah.
And if that's a common thing, because he was like, yeah, I see this all the time. I'm like, if that's a common thing, I feel like, first of all, most eye doctors should know about it. And second of all, that should be like the first thing you say when someone comes in.
Yeah.
Unless he's also lying and he's just incompetent.
He has a stake in eye drops.
Exactly. Like, I don't know what anyone's motivations are, and it really freaks me out.
Yeah. Because my doctor is like, come back in a month to talk about this medication you've been on forever. And I'm like, I feel like I don't need to do that.
Yeah.
I think I'm okay.
Well, she probably looks at her calendar and she's like, it's a slow month.
I know. I have an opening.
Back. I don't know how this works, actually. They don't have a steady income, right? Like, it must depend on like how many patients they have that month.
Do you think so?
And
what if they're like, I'm bored?
Or what if it's even a thing where it's like, there's certain things that are more profitable than others, like, oh, I haven't like had to do an EKG in a while. Let me tell someone that they should get an EKG. And
is that how it works?
I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
Huh.
Right? Because you pay more depending on what you have getting done.
Yeah.
And then my friend told me that she went to the doctor and it was like a physical exam. But then at the end of the physical exam, they're like, do you have any questions? And she was like, yeah, can you look at this and this? And then when she got the bill from her insurance, there were additional charges for the questions she asked.
No way.
And they charge them as like an X inspection and a Y checkup.
It's a physical exam.
Yeah. And the doctor asked. I feel like
it's
the doctor's responsibility then to be like, hey, by the way, this is going to be an extra charge.
Yeah. Like, what, I'm supposed to be like, is asking question going to be an extra $1,000? Like,
it's on me to like, it's not right.
Yeah. I hate that.
Well, that's all we have time for today.
That's all we've got.
Thank you so much for listening to the Hoot and Holler podcast. We love our listeners.
We really do. Thank you, guys. I'm so excited for season 2.
Season 2 is here. And please like and subscribe and leave a comment.
And also follow Hoot and Holler on Instagram, please.
And thank you, Amy, for being my first guest of season 1 and my first guest of season 2.
It's such an honor. Truly.
Yeah, I'm honored to have you here.
Well,
we gotta go.
We gotta go.
We gotta go.
Bye.